Hello, hello. Hello, Chase. Sorry, just rubbing my eye. Okay, there we go. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Hope you're having a good old time, Chase. My tablet is slipping and sliding. Okay. I don't know how well that looks. You and Michael are gonna play the Yu-Gi-Ohs? I see, I see. Playing a bad card game? I understand, I understand. Hello, Michael. What, no one want to sit down and play a rousing game of Wicross? I realize I'm probably like one of the only real stands of that card game. The game design is so good, guys. You don't understand. Oh, hello, Cube. Can we learn / play it online? No. They never made an online client for it. We'll do this. Isn't that the Dead Girls anime game? Yeah? Shit's lit. They were afraid of success. Actually, they do sell pretty well. Excuse me. They sell pretty well. They're actually one of the few card games that doesn't spit out a million sets every year. They actually are a card game that put out 4 sets a year. Not a lot of cards per set. So the overhead cost on making the game is actually pretty inexpensive. And because of it doesn't have a large flood of cards all the time, it basically never has a bad metagame. Because they never put out, like, enough product to where they can't play test everything properly. So the game actually plays incredibly well. And, like, sells alright, so it's weird. It's casual of the casuals. So there is still like a tier 1 metagame. But you can bring your pet deck and win regionals with it. Because of how the game design is in that game, you can actually just take whatever you want and do well with it usually. Because, like, I play, like, tier 3 nonsense and win all the time. Granted, it's because people don't know how to play against my deck. Oh, I'm sorry, did you want to attack for the next 2 turns? Sorry, buddy. Most people see me flip my Lyrig and they're like, literally who? Like... is what it is. That, and because of how prizing works in tournaments, most people don't bring meta. It's really funny. They have like the best support system to actually encourage diversity. It's insane. Then you start T-posing. I actually do, because my deck barely deals damage. Mine's a I poke at you over a course of a long time, because I play mostly mono blue, and blue doesn't really have good ways to end the game. Because in Wicross, you have what's called a Larig, which is just your commander, right? It's the exact same thing as, like, it's pretty much the same thing as a commander or vanguard. And prizing for tournaments, like if you go to like the Grand Prix, which are basically just like regionals, right? Or nationals, actually. I forget what's it equivalent to. But if you come in the highest place for your Larig, you get an alt art for your Larig. It doesn't matter if you're in 5th place or 100th place. If you are the highest ranked player who brought Donna, you get the Donna prize card. So it actually creates diversity in the Wicross metagame, where everyone just brings their waifu to compete for the ult art. It's actually ingenious. Because, you know, you could bring the meta, right? But then you have less of a chance of getting the ult art for, like, your Larig. So that's why, like, the metagame in Wicross is always so diverse, is they actually came up with a neat system that actually benefits people to bring whatever the fuck they want. Which, like, is nice, you know? I always love looking at the Wicross metagame and going like, yo, someone was insane enough to bring Mama. What a mad lad. I do support Mama stands. One of my friends is, so, you know. I'm also amazed that there's a Larig named Mama, and she's actually wholesome. It's like, oh, wait, is she fully clothed? Insane. That is not what I expected. Like, at all. Let's see here. We need to put his little pouch. His little things. What? Ethel? What did I walk in on? Is this fully clothed? I mean, kind of? Oh, like, is she fully clothed? Yeah. It's weird, because usually, like, in Wicross, I'm so used to characters, like, being horrendously scantily clad. Like, I'm switching to a different Larig for my center, because I just prefer the playstyle of Boomer to Madoka nowadays. And, like, I'm staring at Umer, and I'm like, damn, why she gotta be wearing, like, the thinnest thong on the planet? Like, I kind of hate that, but damn that effect, though. It's like, wait a minute, she let me look at my opponent's hand and discard a card? Eh? Oh, she taxes the opponent's resources for the rest of the game? Amazing. This is what we're playing. I still get to use all of my what is it, my mono black, like, support cards. Lit. This is what I want. I can still Flores for game. Though actually, unironically, I also think that Wicross has the coolest deck out rule I've come across in a card game. At least on the TCG side of things. I know that some digital games have this ruling, but when your deck runs out, you shuffle your grave back into your deck and you're dealt damage. And you have 8 life in that game. So getting dealt 1/8 of your total life is a cost. That's for certain. But it does make, like, it turns mill as a strategy into a weird, like, mid-range aggro strategy. Like, if you choose to commit to mill. Because, you know, naturally I play control in Wicross because I'm an evil person. But I usually have a couple mill cards in my deck just to squeeze in a win in the late game. Because getting in that extra damage is still just like, oh, okay, cool. Because blue doesn't really have access to good direct damage. You know, because it's supposed to be the slow color. Well, you know, you splash some black in there, you get yourself some mill, and there you go. Because that's what Flores does. Flores is just like, did she hit the opponent in the face? They mill 10. Like, and milling 10 hurts in that game. Because Wicross has a starting deck size of... Well, has a deck size of 40. So the time you get to, like, a good Flores turn, you're like, oh, we're getting in for damage this game. Is very good. And she got reprinted. She's no longer $30. She's like 10. Though you usually only run 1 or 2 copies, so it's mostly okay. And boy, I think that's like the only game I've ever played where you can safely run one-ofs. You will probably see your one-ofs. Just because of the deck out rule, you can just filter really fast in the game. And then just, like, put it back into the deck. It's like, oh, yeah, depending on how you build your deck, you'll see everything. Like, it's fine. Oh, I haven't fixed his belt yet. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, right. I also need to fix runes. Other side of his face. We gotta be able to imply that he does have some... Yeah. actually do it this way. There we go. Yeah. We'll do it like this. Yeah. So if I turn this off, yeah, so I think we will also put we'll do this, imply, yeah, but there's extra things over there. Ah, hello, Cirrus. How's everyone this evening? I'm doing pretty good, Mega Puppy. I ate an early dinner today, or I guess breakfast. It's weird. I don't think I like that. It made my stomach feel weird. Like, oh, I'm not used to ingesting things that early for me. But that's fine. Is fine. Ah, hello, cat. There we go. Okay. We'll do it that way. I guess I could have done that better. I probably should have done that on a different layer. Would have made it easier to... I can still do that, I guess. That would just make this process a lot faster. It's like, oh my god, I'm working in digital, I can do those things. Oh shit. I mean, sometimes I just forget, you know. I'm not sitting there with an actual ink pen. Hunched over like an awkward desk, like with like a light board behind it. We ain't doing that. I never liked working at those. like being in front of one of the lightboard stations. I'm like, nah. Not my thing. That's it. Actually, since I'm working on a separate layer right now, might make it easier to... Well, do this. The wonders of technology. Technology sucks. What are you talking about? It never works the way you want it to, when you want it to. You're sitting there screaming at a program more often than not. It's terrible. I'm like, come on, Adobe. Can't you just save a program, like save a file correctly? And it's like, no, nah. Huh? Just as you stopped, YouTube stopped working. Did it? No. Man, YouTube sucks. When is a better platform gonna be made, guys? Like it's like YouTube's like just okay. It's like just okay, but nothing more than that. There we go. How do belts look? How do... Nebula's not real. Those are for people that want to, like, I don't know, just be a video essayist. And video essays suck, you know. I'm just saying. I like can never sit down and watch a long video essay, because like every time I'm just like, but you could have condensed an hour of this into like 3 sentences. Like what do you mean? It's like, stop trying to act smart. I can just read an article if I wanted a long-winded explanation. I don't know. I don't get the appeal, obviously. Ah, hello, Crush. Cirrus, a video essay about me explaining why Leo did nothing wrong would be 30 seconds long. It would just be footage, like, of Leo's sprite, and it zoom into his stomach. There you go, he did nothing wrong. Look, see? He's good. That's the best explanation we would get. We need that. No, you don't. Don't lie. Oh my god. There are like so few channels that do video essays that I even like will bother looking at. And it's only because like, man, these people aren't wasting my time. There are just so few. People will like recommend me video essay like things, and then I'll watch like 5 minutes of it and then just turn it off. Cause I'm like, all they're doing is either summarizing the thing that I could be watching, or just saying things in such a labored way that I don't care. You can say the same thing in 1 sentence versus 5 pages. Like, please do not waste my time like this. And like, I'm one of those people that does not need my like weird opinion tuber Josh voice. No one wants that, Ian. No one wants that. No one. Like, I don't need my opinion validated. Like, I can like something, and I don't need to watch, like, a 5-hour video to make me feel good about liking the thing. Like, no. I'm fine. Why, yes, I am curving out all of these points for no reason. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. A different person. Well, I was as stiff as could be back then. I still think I am, but you know, that's a different thing. I feel like they're much better at 2 times speed, but I could just be watching a shorter thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I realize I watch, like, a lot of my YouTube history, you know, minus the VTubers, right, is a lot of, like, finding old cartoon opening and, like, watching that, right? So my YouTube recommendations usually ends up being a lot of video essays on older cartoons or anime, and I'm like, I don't want this in my recommendations. I just wanted to listen to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D song, Kizuna. I did not want a video essay titled, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was ahead of its time. I'm like, no, I'm not watching that. Fuck you. Like, that keeps popping up in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Recommendations. And I'm like, you can fuck off. Like, I'm sure you're an okay fella. I'm not blaming you for making the video, but I'm blaming YouTube for recommending it to me. Like, no. And I'm gonna go on out on a limb and assume that that video isn't gonna mention the head writers and the discourse with that, you know, on because usually videos when people want to talk about 5Ds being good, they omit the behind the scenes hijinks with the writers, you know, because that makes the show look bad, because it is, and just kind of ignore all of the original plot setup in explaining the show as well, because, you know, it makes the show look bad for dropping all of it when they changed writers. And I'm like, huh, this seems a little misleading, at least to me. No, I'm not going to make a video essay explaining this shit. No. You all can go just research it yourself. Or watch those animes. Not 5Ds, though, like the others. Like, a bunch of the writers, like, hopped off of... Not a bunch, but some of the writers, like... We don't know if they got fired, if they quit, bought... We don't know what happened. But, like, writers left the show and then made a different show instead. With another company. Leaving, like, 5Ds in this weird state of... not being good anymore. I liked your old comic streams. I, like, really hate the first two I did. I thought those were so bad. But also those take way too long to put together, and no one watches those, so is what it is. I'm not putting, like... Oh god, I can't even say it was... Yeah, I actually can't give you a estimate on how long it took me to, like, edit all of those photos. Like, to grab all those panels and then edit every single one of them. Ooh, those... that took a while. But, like, I get it. I'm not a comic tuber or whatever people, like, refer to that as. And I definitely don't end up reading, like, the hippest comics on the market, you know? I'm not reading Superman right now. I'm sure Joshua Williamson, was that his name, is doing a great job on that book. I don't want to read it. I read, like, the first few issues of it and was like, this is great. Immediately stops reading because I just am not interested. It's like, wow, what a bold and neat direction for the Superman comic. Bye. I don't even know if that, like, if some of that's still ongoing. Like, I don't know if Superman is still in charge of LexCorp. But, like, that was a fun change. Just not your cup of tea. No, it's more like, I'm not going to sit there and read 30 ongoing comics from DC. I'm going to read, like, 2. I like the current Titans run. It's pretty alright. I know that some people have, like, their gripes with Tom Taylor and how he characterizes, like, people sometimes. It can just feel a little corny, I guess, is, like, nothing wrong. Just, like, it's not a lot of people's vibes, but I don't mind his take on Nightwing. He's a little more wholesome. And, you know, anything is better than what we were dealing with for... God, during the Rebirth and New 52 era, right? Like, anything's better than those. Like, oh, Remember when they got rid of the secret identity of Nightwing and they just had Dick Grayson be a government secret agent going by the code name Grayson? Oh yeah, shit was, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, DC, what is this? The comic wasn't even terrible, it was just a bad idea. It was not a good PR move, let's say. Undercover great. Yeah, they did the same thing to Tim Drake a few years back as well, where they made him like drop the name Red Robin, and he came back as simply Drake. It was not good. It was not well received. They like they reneged on that within a couple months. So, like, oh, it's like, thank God, because that was, that was a bad, like, 2-year period for Tim, because he went through, like, 3 or 4 different code names, you know, because DC just doesn't know what to do with him. And all of that flip-flopping on the books ended with them going, and he's bi. If you don't know, like, that's part of the reason why people... Ignoring the people that are just homophobic, right? Why people didn't like that announcement is, like, it just feels like they were throwing darts at a wall. Like... They just kept, every half a year or so... They just kept rebooting his character and just being like, okay, you're Drake now. Oh, you're getting rid of the name Red Robin. You're Robin again. You're on this team now. Oh, wait, we're canceling that title. You're on the Gotham Knights now. We're canceling that title. You're bi. Like, it felt like that. Like, just every half a year or so, it was like, Tim is doing a new thing. So them just adding, like, the sexuality change just made it feel weirder. It's just like, like, yeah, I personally didn't mind it, whatever, but is that why they made Superboy bi? You know, I legitimately don't know. Like, I never finished reading Superman, Son of Kal-El, which is the book that they made John bi. I read, like, the first volume of it and didn't really like it, so... I never really read too much into the production history on it. You know, because I don't care. You know, it's just... You know, it's John, and, you know, I like John. Well, I used to like John, but... that's a character that feels like we don't know what we're doing with either. I don't even know if he's still dating that one character. The character that always comes off as, like, a crazed supervillain to me. Or I'm just like, John, maybe you should... break up with this man. You know, he doesn't give me Joker vibes. He doesn't give me Lex vibes. He seems like a weird amalgam, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't trust this man. I just don't trust him. And I just don't know if he's still dating that man. I would assume so. But, you know. The last time I saw John in a comic, he was just standing in the background and didn't say anything. You know, because the super family is so close. DC do be trying to make the super family a thing. And I'm just like, but these people don't know each other. Kara doesn't spend time with John. And like Connor doesn't spend time with literally anyone. And Power Girl's been out of continuity for so long that her just being around feels weird. Those books are awkward. You know what? Yeah, John is going by Superman currently. So we have Superman Clark Kent, and then Superman John Kent. And then we have Superman, I forget his name. He's like a Superman from another universe who's on Earth Prime for a reason. Clark Kent. Yeah, it do be that way. You know me. I don't want to just say the Black Superman, but also he doesn't have his own comic, so most people don't know him by name. They've done a really bad job promoting this character. Where it's like, oh, we want like another black member of the super family because no one knows who Steel is. And I'm like, fair? That's very fair. What are we gonna do with this new character? Nothing? Oh. Like, damn, okay, sure. He feels a sideline as Duke. Who is my favorite Superman? I mean, it's Clark only by default, because they've done so little with the other Superman that I just don't care. Like, I could be funny and be like, haha, Cyborg Superman, obviously. He's a mass murderer. But he's so boring. He's so boring. I just don't care. And DC doesn't do anything with Cyborg Superman either. He shows up so infrequently that it gets... I always forget he's around, and then he just shows back up and I'm like, oh, it's you! Like when he showed up in Night Terrors for no reason. And I'm like, why are you here? I don't think anyone cared about seeing what your nightmare was, Cyborg Superman. But okay. You're here, I guess. I assume they did this just so they didn't have to give Power Girl screen time. Because instead of giving Power Girl her own 2-issue miniseries for Night Terrors like everyone else, they instead made it Action Comics, and it was split into 2 halves, where one half was Cyborg Superman and one half was Power Girl. Yeah, I don't know. This is not great. The not real surprise factor, it do be that way. Because even then, like, the only comics I've read, like, recently was, like, I started the comic when it first started in the summer and then just didn't read another issue. But I was like, oh, fuck, I'm, like, now nearly a year behind on Gargoyles, right? Because I like Gargoyles, whatever. And I was like, okay, season 4, whatever comic book, yeah, you know, you read that, and, like, it's fun. It's one of those things of, like, if you're a fan of Gargoyles, you're gonna like the comic. Though, I'll preface that with, maybe you should track down season 3 first. I know that they're advertising the new Gargoyles comic as for fans and newcomers, and I'm like, I feel like newcomers have a better chance of being okay with this than fans of the TV show, because this assumes that you've read all of the other comics. So if you're only familiar with the TV series, starting the new comic and having Brooklyn be married with 2 kids and Broadway is engaged, that might be weird for people. That, and you have the clan member that's Coldfire, who, like, I don't know if people know who she is, but, you know, she's there. It's probably a good thing that there aren't really, like, casual fans of Gargoyles. I feel like it's... most people who are fans of Gargoyles are pretty ride or die for that franchise. I don't know if I would call myself, like, ride or die, but I do like that franchise a lot. You know, I'm on that train of Xanatos did nothing wrong, you know, because he's the true hero of that story, you know, is what it is. His wife do be doing things, though. That was like where the last issue left off. It's just like, oh, are we doing stuff with Fox again? Okay. Damn, I hope everyone remembers the weird-ass fucking lore with with Xanatos' wife, because that's, you know, that's a whole thing as well. I'm assuming next month's issue will try to catch up audiences on that. Because the structure of the current Gargoyles comic tends to be like half the issue is a first-person thing, and then the second half is like third person on what the current ongoing story is, but the first person part is just to re-inform people about parts of the lore from the perspective of whatever point of view character they choose for that. Like the Demona issue, where it's her watching TV. It's not actually TV, but, like, you know what I mean. But then also having a whole bunch of narration on her trying to find, like, key artifacts from the TV show. So it's just there to to both introduce it to people who've never engaged with Gargoyles, but also reintroduce these items to people who haven't watched since the TV series. Which, like, is fair. But it does create for a little bit of a jank experience. Because I find that's like, man, the first 10 pages of, like, every issue is just catch-up for people. And then the last 15 pages is the actual story of the issue. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it isn't. There are some things, like, during the trial of Goliath, that's a whole story arc. One of those issues, the point of view start was from, like, Katana's perspective, who is Brooklyn's wife, where she kind of, like, recounts some of her history with Brooklyn. And it's, I don't know. I feel like this is a hard sell for people who aren't, like, in it, you know? Especially since, like, she was introduced in season 3 in the last page. She just shows up. She does not get that good of characterization. It feels like Wiseman just doesn't entirely know what to do with her. I hope they do something with her, but I'm not holding my breath. That's like hoping that, but Stagheart's going to show up. That's not happening. We'll just see Discord messages of him. Man, they didn't even like bother putting like an icon on the side. You just see his username. And I was like, oh, well, I hope you know one, like, Staghorn's username, which gets brought up like once in season 3. I keep saying Staghorn, it's Stagheart. Because he's like a deer guy. It do be that way. Oh. There we go. But for the most part, like, I'm enjoying it. There's just a couple weird issues here and there where I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief. Was there a point in reintroducing Thylog? I don't know. He didn't do anything. He just shows up and is like, I'm gonna kidnap this baby. Oh, the baby's useless. I no longer want the baby. You can have it back. And I'm like, this was not a good use of our time. Like, come on. No, I won't do that. Not yet, though. Let's do that. The gargoyles use Discord? No, they use like instant well, Lexington uses like an instant messaging board so that he can talk to Stagheart. You know, since this takes place in the 90s. I just say Discord because like that's like the modern equivalent, right? Because they are still sticking with the timeline of, because they even specify how long they've been in Manhattan, and they said 2 years. So across the 4 seasons, it's only been like 4 years in universe. I mean, 2 years, sorry. Yeah, across the 4 seasons, it's 2 years. Is one of them in a gay long-distance relationship? Yeah, that's about as... Well, that's as... that's as far as Greg will probably allow himself to depict that. He's constantly in hot water over how he depicts his gay characters. Or I guess not in hot water, but just like everyone kind of stares and goes, really? And then he shrugs, you know. Like, it's the reason why the Magic the Gathering fan base hates him. It's part of the reason why the DC fan base kind of is touch and go with him. Like, well, we're fine with you until a certain point. Though it's never malicious. Like, his writing's never malicious about it. It's more like, oh, he doesn't seem that comfortable writing these characters, which, like, I get. I'm fine with that. But also, then maybe just don't. Maybe just don't, right? Like, boy, he was lucky when he wrote Spider-Man, and there just wasn't... there just aren't really gay characters in Spider-Man, so that's not an issue there. Back in the Spider-Man days with him, we just had to deal with his endless parade of words. It's like, Jesus Christ, how long can these teenagers talk for? It's not as bad as Persona, so like, I'm mostly fine with it. We'll do that. What do you mean? Wait, about which comment? I kind of said a lot. Like about Wiseman and how people don't like his gay characters? You already answered it? Yeah, I tried to do that. Stream delay, and you know. There we go. I still think he's a good writer. It's just kind of, you know. Because, like, the way he writes Lexington isn't incorrect. More just, huh. Really, we've been waiting this long to have just that one shot of him on his computer messaging Stagheart? Okay. Okay, Wiseman. It's only been, what, since 2006 when you introduced them? Wiseman does everything for Gargoyles. He's like the creator. He does the scripts for the most part. Like, this franchise is a labor of love on his part, so he is the sole writer of the comics. What we doing? Okay. Okay, there we go. On one hand, that's really nice, just because that means that consistency wise, like Gargoyles is always like all the characters still always feel like themselves. You never have that issue of baton passing the writer and things not feeling quite right. Let's see. There we go. I know, it is his franchise, and for the most part, he does like a great job with Gargoyles. Granted, sometimes I think he can get too caught up in it, where I'm like, Greg, you're referencing material from a canceled spin-off series. Like, events that would have happened in some of these canceled spin-off series are just still canon. So you'll have characters mention stuff that's never been shown to audiences, which can feel a little weird. You know, like the entirety of Brooklyn's life, essentially. Because there was a spin-off series that was going to be titled, I think it was either Phoenix Dance or Time Dance, but it's Brooklyn got the Phoenix Gate and it sent him on a journey throughout time, and that's how he meets his wife, Katana, and when he gets his like puts his family together, essentially. Like, that was supposed to be a spin-off show we were supposed to get in the 90s, and it just didn't happen. But in the season 3 comic, you see the event of Brooklyn getting the Phoenix Gate, going on one time travel adventure, and then it just cuts to present day of him coming back, aged 10 years, with a wife and 2 kids. Like, and even in the season 4 comic, they still refer to his adventures like time dancing. Same with the spin-off show that was going to be titled, what, Pendragon? Pendrick? Something like that. There was a Griffin character named, well, Griff, that was going to go on fun adventures with King Arthur. And those two are friends, and they mention that they went on adventures together. And some of those adventures do get brought up and are important. And I'm like, cool. I guess that makes the world feel alive in a certain sense, because that means characters are having their own adventures off screen, and it's important. But also, that's one hell of a lore Bible Greg must keep up with to be able to have all of this. It's like, geez, man, did you think you'd be working on like, did you think you'd be working on Gargoyles for the rest of your life? I realize he's halfway there. But like, we get new Gargoyles content so infrequently that I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be this calculating on how this world is written and how its characters all are related and interact. And like, it's impressive, you know, it's very impressive, because it always feels like nothing ever feels like assholes in that regard. I think the only one that I always have a problem with is every single character is related to something within the lore that it can feel a bit like Is no one just a person? Nah, this person's bloodline relates to X, and it's like, okay. This person's secretly Macbeth, like from history, living in modern time. It can't just be a guy obsessed with Macbeth. No, it is Macbeth. This person's a secret agent with the government. They're not just a normal detective, they're a super detective. And are related to all of these in-universe fake government factions. And it's like, can't they not just be a guy? I think one of the ones that'll always kind of go, are you kidding me? Is when they revealed that Thanatos' wife was the daughter of the fairy king. Like Oberon and Titania and all that shit. I'm just like, oh, we really just going everywhere, aren't we? Ah, hello, Bucky. Huh? Because it's like, man, we had like 60 or 70 episodes of the TV show, and Fox was just a girl. And like 80 episodes in, they're like, no, she's secretly an all-powerful Fae woman. And I'm like, Greg. Not every single character needs to be connected to something within your lore. You don't need every single character connected to something. It's the one obnoxious part about gargoyles to me. Ah, Thanatos' butler? We're gonna spend like 30 episodes building up his connection to whatever within the lore. And I'm like, but he's just a butler. Could he not just be a butler? I think they're right. Oh, I keep saying Thanatos, sorry. I mean, I keep meaning to say Xanatos. It's with an X. He's a Kingdom Hearts character, you know. It's spelled with an X, so it's Xanatos. I don't know. I keep reading it as Thanatos now. It's only a little bit of a problem. Only a little bit. Yeah, Xanatos, sorry, yeah. You know, the did nothing wrong character in Gargoyles. You know, he's still just a guy. I think that's part of the reason why I like Xanatos so much. He's just a guy. He's a very powerful, rich guy, but he's just a guy. Sure, they introduce that his wealth is from himself in a time paradox thingy, but, you know, I'm okay with that. It's not as dumb as some other things within the lore. That was a real fun episode, though. How much lore is required on the winged rock people? I think you can just enjoy Gargoyles for what it is, but there's a lot. There's a lot. Like, they've split season 4 into 2 separate comics at this point, one of which takes place in modern day, and one of them takes place during the medieval ages, so they can expand on the lore from, like, that, you know, way back then. I'm like, I don't know about this one. I haven't read it yet. It's called, like, Gargoyles Dark Ages, but I'm like, did we need more lore on Hudson's life and Damona's treachery? We had, like, We had City of Stone for the TV show for Demona. I don't need any more than that. And that was already like a 4-parter. And half of it's just the Demona flashback. I would be interested in seeing the series Bible though. I'm like, how much is here? How much is here, Greg? Like, how much of your life have you wasted on making up more lore for your weird little Disney cartoon? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is probably the reason why this never really caught on. Like, it has devoted fans, obviously, but I feel like the amount of characters expositing things about history, like the in-universe history and lore, and, you know, some people just want to watch a show about superhero gargoyles flying around and doing cool things. And the show is like that for maybe 4 episodes total. it do be something. Well, I want to do this. How much inking? I mean, probably a lot. I mean, at this point, I never do, like, a small amount of inking. It is always the whole thing. There we go. Is audio bugged for anyone else? Is it bugged? Is it fine? Is it not? I assume more people would be mentioning it. But I guess I don't know. I guess you're just fucked, Cirrus. YouTube was like, no, you specifically, fuck you. It do be that way sometimes. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. How are we gonna do Burry's hand? Probably just not at all. I think that might be how we do this. Oh, whoops. Your connection is have you reset your router in a while? I mean, I had a day like last week where like my internet just wasn't working, and I went and checked the router, and it was just like hanging half plugged in, and I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? Like, actually, what happened? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, my internet's not the problem. It was just the router's half plugged in. Yeah, it was it really was. And I was like, bitch, get back in there. It's like, you sir, you lad. Yeah, that looks fine. Hmm. I think I'll do this. Okay. I mean, at some point we have to get to max, but until then. He's important. It's fine. We'll get to him eventually. I think we'll do this. Perfecto. Okay. Actually, how do I want to? We'll do it like this. And that's fine. Yeah. We'll Let me do this. Oh. And okay. Do you know what Fanum tax is? What? What? What about the Rizzler? The what? You don't mean a Twizzler, right? Rizzler? Like the Tron character? Is this one of those newfangled things the kids talk about? Yeah, no. Well, I'm getting conflicting information here. Are the kids still Fortnite dancing? That was like 2018. Okay. So is it just the furries that are Fortnite dancing? Is that it? I go on to X, you know, that weird website, and I see a lot of this like coyote and tiger doing the Fortnite dancing. I assume one of them's a coyote. I guess I don't know. Probably shouldn't assume. Wendell? Is that that's the name of the coyote, right? That's the cute one, right? But random people don't Fortnite dance in public anymore? Was that a thing? I thought that was just for the Vine. Your brother did it? Oh. I always assume that Fortnite is about as real as those those vines or TikToks of people doing the pickle Rick thing in public. I don't know if those are two comparable things, but my mind puts them together. So everyone can take solace in that, I guess. For better or worse. Who do you think would be more... Like, which community would be more mortified that I lumped them together? Because, boy, my brain do just go, these are the same. These are on par with one another. I still don't know what a Fortnite is. Like... I see footage of people doing weird dances and sometimes holding guns. And that is about my extension of what Fortnite is. It's a Lego game, don't worry about it. Ah. Do you mean like gameplay-wise? Wait. I don't even know how the Lego games play, though. So I guess I still don't know what that means. You will not elaborate? Good? You've never played a Lego game? I mean... I've, like, seen footage of a Lego game. It seemed like a really weird and simple... Not side-scroller beat-em-up, but I guess a beat-em-up is probably the appropriate term that I'm going to use. We have to respect the elderly. Oh my god. Holding my Xbox 360 in my grip. I've never owned an Xbox 360. I've never owned an Xbox. Like, I don't know. I think it's probably fine. I don't need to know things. Holding your PlayStation 1? I mean, I don't own a PlayStation 1 anymore. I did as a kid. Well, it's lost to the ages. Topo. I don't know, I also feel like I don't cling to things like that. What's your Fortnite preferences? What does that mean? What do you mean building or no building? Should I download Fortnite and see what the game is? You gotta pick? I don't know what that means. What do you mean building or no building? I stream it, okay? I don't even know what kind of shooter, like, is it, like, it's a multiplayer shooter, isn't it? But that could mean anything. Like, that could literally mean anything. Eh? I don't know. I'm too old for this. I'm too old. I want you to default dance? What does that mean? I can't floss chase. I've tried. I don't it looks like magic. Like when people do the dance, it's just, it looks like magic. How do they do that? I don't understand. I just don't know. I just don't know. We believe in you. You don't have to lie to me. Like, you don't gots to lie to me like that. I don't know. Should I try Fortnite or should I try FNAF? Hmm. I feel like you'd just get bored with FNAF. Yeah, I would get bored playing it for more than a few hours, probably. But that's enough for one stream. Like, I can get one stream of entertainment out of FNAF, probably. Like, I'd probably stream it just once, but like, you know. Oh, I would be playing them in order, Cirrus. Like, we gotta catch up on the lore, right? I heard that FNAF was a lore-based franchise, you know. Gotta Dark Souls it up, right? Like, I'll buy the books. Let's go. But the chronology order is contentious. Who cares? We do it in release order. Or I just play whichever one, like, I feel like I would have to play the first game first, right? And then after that, I choose depending on which has the hottest animatronics, right? Then go straight to security breach. That's a good one, right? I hear that game barely works. Is that true? Everyone tells me that that one's super buggy. Very boogie. Okay. FNAF is just gay furry media made by a low-key homophobic dude. Okay, okay. But are they just homophobic or are they a homophobic homosexual? My favorite gender. Just homophobic? What's even the point? It's not even entertaining. 83? Eh? Is that the year thingy? Is that the FNAF joke? I don't even know. Without seeing a single glitch. Don't worry your little head. Okay. Okay. Oh man, I go in shopping tomorrow. How many FNAF books should I pick up? There's a bookstore next to where I'm gonna go do some Christmas shopping. Should I just buy the whole shelf? All of them. Good, good. Eh. Let us do yes. Okay. Okay. There's time traveling ball pit in one of them. I heard about that. I also heard that there's Mpreg in one of them. These books aren't long, right? I assume these are like Goosebump tier books. Like in terms of length and like size. Huh? There we go. Wait, what? When the dude's organs were filled with animatronic babbies? How does that work? You know, I probably shouldn't ask. It's probably fine. Look, we'll become real hip on the FNAF lore by the end of this, right? We'll get in there. That works a little bit. Maybe I should define that more. I don't know. Put a pin in that. Just from playing the games you won't? Well, that's why we have to read the books. Because they're like, aren't cutscenes in there, right? Like, they're just jump scare games, right? It's just a jump scare, and then sometimes you get a radio thingy. I assume there are also like audio diaries and things, but I guess I really don't know. I kind of assumed that most of the story was done like that, of like you would hear recordings, and that's the story. You know, like Bibble Shack. If Bibble Shack didn't have more gameplay. Some are complicated. That's fine. Through secret finding? I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's easy to find. Look, it's a children's franchise, right? That means kids played this and found some of these things, right? Wait, you tried playing what? One of the FNAF games? You would kill yourself trying to find the FNAF 3 secrets? Let's go! That's what we want. That's what we call content. Wait a minute. Thinking? Cirrus, are you a baby? Does little Cirrus not like the horror media? Curious. Very curious. I'm thinking. You know? Should I be doing more horror media? You like horror in concept, not horror games? That didn't answer the question there, Cirrus. Cirrus, that wasn't the question. I asked if you're a baby. No, serious. I didn't ask if you were a baby. I asked if you're a baby. Those are two different questions. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? Is Cirrus baby? We won't judge. Ooh, that's scathing. He is the Discord, you know? Like, I thought Darien was the most baby person in the server, but you know. Cause Darien's the kind of guy who will be like, no, I'm baby. Like, yeah, that's Dardar for you. Yeah, Darien wants to be baby, but he's not actually baby, you know? I would pay to see Dardar do horror, right? He won't. You're lucky enough that he joined me to play Silent Hill 2. And even then, that was 90% me going like, oh, but look at this thing, it's neat. Oh, look at the way they conveyed X. Such art. Beautiful. That was not a... That was definitely not a horror playthrough, was it? More like the bear scene. Oh my god. He's very baby when it comes to things like that. He doesn't like when things go out to spook him. And, you know, neither do I. But I kind of just live with it. So... I think that works. Considering how scary that game is. Wait. What the fuck is scary about the smokest room? Is it night for me? It's kind of night. The sun is down. Actually, wait a minute. Do I still have my... Yeah, I need to take my pills for that. Give me a minute. There we go. Yeah. Always take your meds? No. Never take your meds. Cliff Sprout is terrifying. What's scary about it? Oh no, there's a monster in the forest. Like, cool. Oh no, there's a bloodthirsty beast that wants to kill me. Whatever. Game's gotta do more than that to spook me. I feel like... I mean, I've always felt this way about the smoke room. I feel like that game trying to be as sexy as it is makes the game less scary. Because they're like, ooh, horror scenario. And my mind is just going, okay, but when do I fuck the fox? Not that fox. I want Sella. He's cute. Shadow Sella also cute. Has that part been uploaded? I haven't checked. I listed a bunch of them and didn't even check which ones are going live when. Shadow Cella's up, yeah. That's a cool scene. Dardar was real spooked at that. I was just kind of like, oh, this is a cute pupper. That's the problem, is I'm not thinking of it like it's too much of a sex porn game. Like, I like it, it's fun, but it's hard for me to think of it as scary. Then again, what I find spooky and what other people find spooky seems to be very different. What do I find spooky? I feel like you have to spook me more existentially, I think. Like, you can't just like put a threat in front of me in horror media and expect me to get scared, because it's like, man, someone can just knock on my door, I open it and shoot me. Like, threat of violence just doesn't really do anything to me. Like, whatever. Like, you gotta spook me something different. Like, I don't know. Huh? You need to listen to the magnet. I listened to a bit of it and I got bored. Not actually. But when, like, I don't know, when, like, little kittens recommend me Magnus Archives, not specifically you, Cirrus, but, like, it's always, like, the scariest babies that go, oh, Josh, you would like the Magnus Archives, and I'm like, okay. And they just, like, don't even interact with it. Like, I thought, it's hard, because I try to, like, think about, like, what media I go, ooh, that's spooky, but then I always go, like, ooh, but I like the, like, production-wise, I really like it. Like, my mind immediately goes to that whenever I think of, like, those kind of media. I don't know, it's weird. I feel like my brain doesn't work. My brain doesn't work properly that way. You know, it's the reason why I like Silent Hill, right? Is like, oh, I like the way that those games were produced. Like, they're spooky, I guess, but like that's not what I'm here for. I don't really care about that part of it. Because you have like you have the radio show part of Silent Hill 2, right? And that scene like that scene like plays with the player, and I kind of loved that. But you know, I didn't like. I find it less scary and more like, ooh, I really like what they're doing here. Like that's what. Like that's how my mind quantifies that. It's really weird. Either that or I like how do I word this? I tried to explain this to someone recently where I'm like I feel like horror fails when it tries to scare the audience. It should be like horror I think works better when you try to scare the in-universe character. I think that makes things scarier, right? Because like it's preying upon like you empathizing with the character in universe, because it's like there's no threat of violence to you watching the piece of media. So I feel like when media tries to just scare the audience, I'm sitting there bored out of my mind. It should be trying to scare the in-universe characters. That's why I typically don't like the jump scare games, is I'm like, oh god, I'm bored. And part of the reason why I never touched FNAF is just because, like, oh, there's no, like, it's you, not the character. So, like, what's, like, I don't care. I don't know if that entirely makes sense. That's my preference, you know? Wouldn't work with you. Yeah, I think that's just kind of, like, boring. And it's like, no, like, if you're trying to scare me, then you're no longer scaring the in-universe character. And that makes things less... Because then it matters less to the in-universe character, and since that's where all the horror comes from, I'm not feeling it. Because I feel like when I'm watching horror, it's not really me getting scared, but it's me getting, like, frightened for the character in universe. And so if you're just trying to scare me, I'm like, I just don't really care, buddy. Like... I don't know. I guess that's also the reason why I never think of, like, Resident Evil as, like, a horror game. It's like, no, this is fun action game. Even back in the PlayStation 1 era. Go vroom. That's just me, though. Like, with video games, it's a little bit different, just because, you know, player participation, blah, blah, blahs. But, like, with books and with film, I think it's important to not specifically try to scare the audience. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think Messer and I were making fun of that game being updated. We were making fun of a lot of games being updated recently. No worries. That's not a slant against the game or anything. We're just like, oh my god, thing updated. That's hilarious. You know, like limits, right? Where it's like, oh my god, it got updated. Holy shit. That's amazing. A Christmas miracle. I'm surprised it's not canceled. Well, Cirrus, there's a playlist for limits on the not this one, but like on the main channel. Watch it if you dare, I guess. I kind of always assume that game is just dead. That's just me, though. I guess that game will always have the hot dragon. Is it good? Now that's a loaded question, Sears. When you ask, is it good? What do you mean by this question? Ian isn't wrong. Did you have fun? I had fun. That doesn't mean anything. So take that as you will. That game is in desperate need of an editor. Cause like, I can't read half those sentences. Oh my god. Like my mind, I can't even correct some of the sentences, you know, because it's me. But it's like, oh my god, this is almost incomprehensible sometimes. It's a good thing I like the character designs. Let's just do it this way. I don't even know if the what's it called? I don't even know if the other game that guy worked on recently is also good. Has anyone played Distant Travels? Let's do that. Am I going to be doing a highlights video? Maybe? The Tigor. Oh, of course you would. I've stopped expanding my horizons and just be doing updates. That's fair. And there's now enough games that update regularly to where you will kind of always have something within a month. See you, Michael. Has anyone read any of the updates for Remember the Flowers? Is that how's that game doing? It's been a hot minute since I've taken a look at it. What? Yeah. I want to catch up on that, but it's daunting. Yeah, because they actually update that like every month. And I'm like, bruh. I mean, I guess you got a system and you're updating. Good for you guys. Like, actually. I find that with Remember the Flowers, I'm pretty bored when following Cyrus. When we're following Lance, I'm kind of more excited. One, his roommate is still the cutest fucking character design in the game. I can't. He's so cute. It's so unfair. And I like Artemis a lot. Most of everything else, I'm kind of like, who? What? Eh? Do I care? Let's just do that. Then again, the builds for burrows have also just been getting longer every time, and I'm like, well, why are these builds so long? These are starting to become like 4+ hour long updates, and I'm like, friend, what happened to a nice, simple 2-hour update? I realize most people just want, like, you know, the content, but I'm like, bruh. Oh no. that. I think we'll try. We'll try that. Though I guess what's it called? What's the blurry man from from Remember the Flowers? You know the one. Is he still a thing? Silver? Was that his name? Mr. Blur. Might just wait 5 years. Yeah. Because what, there's 3 separate paths currently in what's his name? Ken's route? And I'm like, that's so much. Like, why? Like, why? I don't know. I actually think that's too much. Like, it's one of those cool in theory things, but in practice, I'm just like, well, that just makes it harder to, like... 3? Yeah, because you can romance Dakota, the bartender bird. He's one of the options. I'm just like, this just seems like too much, friend. It kind of makes it harder to get invested in some of the shit, like... I don't think Gabe's route... Well, because Gabe is now the shortest one currently, right? Because Edian... I'm sure Edian's gonna be a route in Gabe's. I mean, that would make sense to me. If the next update was Mark, I mean, I wish. Like, that's still the route that I'm like, I think is the most fun to play. It's like, man, anything could happen. Like, the others feel like they're still spinning their wheels, yet Mark's route feels so much more active than the rest. When is self-love route? Yo! That'd be kind of fun. Like, I'd be down for that. Oh, this should probably be. more in the barkness, you know? Yeah. Give him a sig? Does he do that? I forget. Does he... Wait a minute. Give him a little... Hmm. Like that? Is that fine? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. I mean, I think it's coming together a little bit. Hmm. Well, Selkie, using the word fag is okay on YouTube, right? Probably. It do be YouTube. with more of a British accent to get it past. What? Look, Selkie. I can't even point to a British accent. I don't know what that is. Like, I just don't know. Actually, should I... Let me make another layer first. If I connected these... And then shaded all of this, or just inked all of this. How would that look? I don't know. I think that might be a bit too much. Yeah. Johnny Guitar and Door Pizza. What? It's fine. Like if I inked even more of a lawn. Man, Ian, I didn't want to say it. We just ink his entire back. You know, he's one with the barkness, right? Huh. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's try to clean up some of the inking over here for lighting purposes. There we go. Hmm. Maybe we'll just black it all out. That's fine. Maybe not. Do it that way, I think. Toto. Okay. Esto. Esto. There we go. Maybe we just do this. Okay. Yeah. What do you all think so far? Is it too heavy? Okay. Oh, whoops. Excuse me. Huh? And at this point, that doesn't really read well. This needs to probably have a crease there. Okay. Anything glaring about the inking you think I need to change, guys? That does need to change slightly, though. we go. Well, okay then. Then I think this is as done as it's going to get, I think. At least for now. Oh, gotta stretch the back. Yeah, that's fine. I've been crumpled over for a hot minute. That's fine. Shrimp pose, yeah. I hunch over the tablet, you know? Like I covet the thing. Well, I'm gonna go get a snack. Maybe come back to this for a minute. But yeah, I think we're done. So I'll end the stream here. I hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you all like the piece. And I'll see you guys around.